Yeah, we pull things off with cricket on this edition of the SportsMax Zone. The 2024-25 season of the Cricket West Indies 4-Day Championship resumes on Wednesday with all 8 teams in round 3 action. Table toppers Leeward Islands Hurricanes will host Trinidad and Tobago Red Force at Warner Park in a clash of perfect teams, while Barbados Pride welcome the Jamaica Scorpions to Kensington Oval. The Windward Islands Volcanoes versus the combined campuses and colleges clash at Windsor Park will round out the early fixtures. The lone day-night contest, in the meantime, will pit defending champions, the Guyana Harpy Eagles, against the West Indies Academy at the Providence Stadium. Now, here's a reminder of the point standings after 2 rounds of a competition. The Hurricanes, one of 3 teams with 2 wins, currently sit atop the standings with a total of 45.4 points. That's 0.2 ahead of second-placed Harpy Eagles, who have 45.2, with the Red Force not far behind in third on 44.4. The Scorpions in 4th with 29.4 points, and 5th-placed Pride, 28.6, are the only other teams that have registered victories. Now, Leeward Islands Hurricanes followed up their 405-run win over West Indies Academy in round 1 with a convincing 5-wicket win over the Jamaica Scorpions. Hurricanes wicketkeeper batsman Jamar Hamilton joins us now via Zoom to discuss their solid start to the season and look ahead to their round 3 matchup, which is expected to be a very difficult one. Jamar, welcome to the SportsMax Zone. It's a pleasure to have you. Is this the first time you are appearing on this show?
No, it's not my first time.
It's not your first time. Well, welcome back to the big show. First of all, I hear that the team had some baggage issues traveling from Antigua to St. Kitts and Nevis, and that your training this morning had to be cancelled as well. What's the latest with that, and are you guys finally settled in now?
Yes, yeah, we had a little technical difficulty with the bags, you know, the small aircraft with the extra luggage, you know, so we got our bags all in all, so we just changed time with Trinidad today because, you know, we're the home team, so we supposed to train this morning, so we just switched the timing, so we got some practice in this afternoon.
And the Trinbagonians were kind enough to say it's okay with the switch?
Yes, it was.
Sounds just about right. 2 rounds of action, and the Leeward Islands Hurricanes find themselves at the top of the championship table. It's a good look for your team. Can you talk to us about, you know, how pleased you are with the type of cricket you've played in the first 2 rounds of this competition?
Yes, you know, we set out a goal as a team, you know, to come in, to play hard but fearless cricket, you know. I mean, we have done that so far. It's all about continuing the momentum, you know. Our coach and our assistant coach, they back us out there in the middle to showcase our talent, showcase our skills. So getting the full support from the management to go out there and just, you know, play freely. It's been working for us, and we hope to continue this year throughout this 3rd round.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the Jamaica Scorpions match, which was the second round encounter. A very good 5-wicket win because it was pretty close for a lot of that contest before I think, you know, the Hurricanes sort of pulled away on day 3. How pleased especially were you about that performance as a team, as a unit?
Yes, definitely. You know, we talked about being clinical, you know, when we get in situations to just hang in there, maybe a little rough, you know, after you got probably a 15-run lead going into the 2nd innings. You know, it's all about trying to get all the wickets and also to stay in the game as long as possible because, you know, John Campbell's in some good form. You know, he's been hitting the ball well. So we know once we stop with it and stay in it a little bit, once getting Campbell early, we would have been right in it.
Yeah.
And the bowlers did that, and we stayed patient and came up winners on day 4.
Yeah, some excellent combination bowling from the captain, Rakeem Cornwall, and the Jamaican Thomas, the man who eventually got John Campbell pulling to square leg. Was a very good catch as well at square leg. I want to talk specifically now about your performances. 2 half-centuries in the tournament so far, 223 runs in your 4 times at bat. How do you feel about how you're hitting the ball, how you're striking the cricket ball?
Well, I feel really good. You know, I said to myself, you know, to just just be patient. Once I'm patient at the crease, you know, I wouldn't have any problem scoring at all. So it was just for me to for the rest of this season to just maintain that patient, being patient at the crease because I know I can. Yes, hello.
Yeah, we're hearing you, Jamar. We're hearing you. Keep going.
Okay, yeah, sure. It's just for me to just continue scoring and being patient at the crease. You know, don't try and get too bogged down, and don't pressure myself. I back my skill and my talent, so it's all up to me to just see my team through the rest of this competition.
Yeah, very much the case. We are working on some video issues with Jamar, but we continue to have the conversation.
Yes.
I was looking at the numbers, Jamar. So of your 223 runs in the tournament so far, 174 of them have come in the first innings, which is very good, of course. Nothing wrong with that. You want to be able to set up these matches with some quality first innings knocks, but not quite yet the same output in the second innings. How significant is the difference batting in the second innings from the first innings, and is the mindset different? And if so, how different when you go out there second time around?
Yes, for me, basically just about, you know, I have the confidence with the runs, but it's about starting over and being patient as well as approaching it like it's my first innings, like basically it's my last innings. So it's the same mentality, the same mindset is as my first innings going into the second innings. But I'm just getting a little complacent, I would say. But other than that, it's about playing for the team also. You know, there might be different. The game might be already set up in the second innings first, so where I might have to play a little different than the first innings. So it's all about yes, it's good for me to play my innings and score runs, but then again, it's also what's best for the team.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, you're going to play based on the moment and what the team
Yes.
requires. So, Jamar, you know, you're up against the TNT Red Force next. TNT has been doing very well with both bat and ball, and you can tell based on their previous performances. What's the approach? What's your mindset like going into this fixture?
I'm going into this third round, you know, no pressure. It's just about maintaining that same start that I've been getting, but hopefully this time getting over the line. You know, I had a couple high half centuries, so it's just about crossing the T's and dotting the I's when I get to those high half centuries.
Yeah, and cricket, as we know, is a team sport. Of course, the wins and you being at the top of the table would not be possible without the various contributions coming from members of your team. Which of the players have you been most proud of, you know, watching them perform and, of course, helping lift the team to the top of that table?
Well, you know, we have quite a very young squad, but, you know, Karim Ogo has really put up his hand at the start of this tournament in the first few games. You know, he also has a couple half centuries. You know, Kadeem Henry, who made his debut the first game, so he also got a half century. So it's all about building these partnerships. And we know the more partnerships we build, it'll be better for us as we go down into this tournament.
Yeah, quick comment on the bowling unit of your team.
Yeah, definitely. The bowlers have been getting 20 wickets, so that's the most important thing. We've been winning games, so yes, with the likes of Raheem, you know, Hayden Walsh, the fast bowlers who are really working hard on these wickets. It's not so fast bowler friendly, but you know they stuck to the task and allow the skipper to rotate them from one end where he can bowl from the next. And the extra pace from O'Shea and Thomas, you know, it's been good. So it's been really good. We have Azari Joseph joining back the team who really loves to play for Leeward. So he'll be joining us back. So we'll be looking to have him with us and also have a great start this weekend.
Yeah, Cameron, one of the things about the Leeward's team that I look at from game to game, it does appear that there's a lot of competition for places, and it's not a very easy team to make. You know, I see like the competition pacer Cameron Pennyfeather, who got wickets in the opening game but didn't play the second game. Is that a part of what drives the Leeward's Hurricanes, the fact that they are, you know, competitive scenarios for spots in the team?
Yes, definitely. You know, our coach Steve Lebert, he said, you know, once there's competition for spots within the team, you know, there has to be good cricket being played. So, we keep challenging one another, each and every spot in this team, and then you know that each as long as we're lifting each other's game, that is going to be good, and we're going to give the selectors trouble to pick the team.
About your personal career now, Jamar, because you're 34 years old now, you've played one test match and one day international for the West Indies. I remember you being a part of the high performance center at Cave Hill in Barbados many years ago. How do you feel about, you know, what that did for your career and where your career is at?
Definitely, it helped me with my career a lot. Right now, you know, as you said, I'm 34 years old. I'm still available to play for West Indies. So I'm just going to try to keep my name in a hat and hope all goes well.
Yeah, the other thing is that the Leewards, we remember the glory days of the Leewards, Jamar, when you won 4 first-class titles during the 1990s. No titles since, I think, 1998. Is that something that drives the team to break the drought of titles for the Leewards?
Yes, definitely. We came close a few years ago. We came second, we came third. But this year we're looking to go straight to the top. We're looking to put it all on the table and just have some fun while doing so.
Yeah, and obviously your third round assignment will be very important to keep the momentum going. Do you have a game plan, and how enthusiastic is the squad about making it 3-0?
Well, it's all about, you know, just focusing on the game at hand. You know, we've been playing good cricket, but also we don't want to think too far ahead. We take it one day at a time. We play each ball at its merit and just play some positive cricket.
Yeah. You said Alzari comes into the squad. Are there any other changes into this squad for the third round fixture?
No, just Alzari came in and replaced O'Shane. That's it.
He replaces O'Shane? Okay.
Yes, in the 13.
Yeah. All right. Well, all the best, Jamar. We wish the Hurricanes success throughout the season. Ricardo has one more for you, I think.
Yeah, Jamar, it's interesting that you said O'Shane has been replaced, because I was just about to ask you about what he's, you know, brought to the setup and your own assessment of how he has gone. When I've watched the matches so far, I know a few of the commentators have been quite critical of him. I thought he bowled very well in the match against the Jamaica Scorpions, especially in that second innings. Your assessment of where he's at in terms of pace, accuracy, and just how he's bowling overall at this stage?
He's bowling pretty well, you know. Commentators are going to commentate, you know, so they're going to talk by what they see. But he fits in very well into our setup, you know, and to have him and Azari and all of us in the team together. But as you know, someone will have to miss out because Azari is back. So the competition in the team is very stiff. And so it's all about just trying to find your way back into the team, because, you know, everyone is playing good cricket. It's not like he's a drop, you know, it's just Azar is back. So we have to find some room for him. So unfortunately, he misses out, but the team is still together. He still travel with the team. So we still create that bond with the team.
Yeah, and in terms of what Alzari will bring to this unit, surely his experience, he has led the West Indies at the highest level as well. So I can just imagine how ecstatic the unit must be to have someone of his quality. Plus as well, he brings a little bit more with the batting, just in case you need it. Not that you've needed it yet this season. Yes,
you know, Azari brings a lot of experience, international experience, you know. So, as I said, he loves to play for the Leeward Islands, and you know, we enjoy ourselves on and off the field, you know. Not just on the field, you know. It starts from off the field, you know, playing dominoes, you know, creating that bond off the field. So, you know, it's easier when you go onto the field, you understand each other, and you know, we just play hard cricket.
Yeah, I know you said earlier that you are still available to play for the West Indies.
Yes.
I want to put the question a slightly different way. As Lance pointed out, you are now 34 years of age. Do you realistically feel that the selectors will look your way? And what do you feel you would have to do for them to look your way? And do you think it is more likely in the longer format, the test setup, or the limited overs version of the game? Because obviously you've played one test and you've also played one ODI.
Well, yes, 34, it's age, yes, but I think once I'm fit enough, to stay on the field and also produce, I feel like I will get a little attention from the selectors. I really think so.
Yeah, and how do you feel now, physically, in comparison to when you made your test debut in 2019, that was 6 years ago, and your ODI match in 2021, 4 years ago? How do you feel at 34 years old? Because I tell people at that age, I feel so much better than when I was 25.
Yeah, definitely. You understand your game more. As I said, once you're physically fit, your body is going to agree with all your movements still. I think it's better for me now understanding my game and also playing within my limits rather than trying to be going at everything.
Well, all the best. I don't think the Red Force will allow you to go at everything over the next 4 days, but we wish the Hurricanes all the very best in that contest, and certainly will be one of the matches of the round, and we're looking forward to it, Jamar. Take care and all the very best.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, Jamar Hamilton there of the Leeward Islands Hurricanes, Lance and Mariah. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty good match, I think. Both
Are
teams.
you 34, Chapo?
Yeah, around there.
Around there, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and,
no, I just saw you,
strong,
okay.
And stronger, faster, fitter than I was 6-7 years ago.
So who told you that?
If Jamar Hamilton...
Who told you that, Chapo?
Just like a few months ago,
that
his
I
back
am
was damaged
stronger,
and he was using
faster,
the elevator.
fitter.
Is that your personal opinion or your coach's opinion?
Well, combination of both. In truth, you really don't need the opinion of anyone because you have the numbers to show it.
Okay.
Quick question. I want to do a tennis interview.
I'm not on... This is not an interview. What's going on? We're supposed to be talking about the regional 4-day.
This is so important. I want to do an interview on tennis and coaching.
You do?
And I would like to have a contact for you, Coach. Thanks.
For my
and Coach,
coach.
if you're watching,
sure.
Coach, if you're watching,
he
hit me
works
up.
here, by the way, you know.
Okay. Before we wrap the segment there was something interesting that Jamar just mentioned.
Yes.
When you asked him about O'Shane and what commentators have been saying. And his answer was very diplomatic because it sounded as if he was saying, don't listen to the commentators. This is what really happens.
Okay,
and it just reminded me of something I saw this week with Roberto Baggio, the iconic Italian footballer, one of the best footballers Italy has ever produced. And he was explaining why he doesn't do punditry. And this is what he said: I find it unpleasant to judge players on the pitch. That's why I don't do any TV punditry work. I see colleagues who couldn't complete 3 dribbles condemn players on air. I found that funny. So the great Baggio doesn't want to go on television talking about players because he finds it uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Well, we're in the business of critiquing, right?
Yes.
But I do feel that there are times when commentators and analysts are too harsh.
Yeah.
And I think you can be balanced, you can be fair, but I just think sometimes there are some commentators and analysts who go overboard. It is as if as a performer, you can't have a bad performance.
Yes.
As a bowler, you can't bowl a bad ball. As a batsman, you can't play a bad shot.
Some of them just nitpick.
Yeah, but sports does not work like that.
No.
Yes.
If you're out there for 2 hours batting, you're going to slash at one outside the off stump that beats the outside edge. It just happens.
It must happen, yes.
That's how it is. If you're playing football and you're a forward, you're going to miss a relatively easy goal at some point of your career.
Yeah.
So, come on. I mean, I just find that sometimes...
Yeah, I guess from Baggio's standpoint, it's a little more difficult to digest when it comes from a former player. Yeah. Because a former player, unlike someone who didn't play, should understand more intimately the ups and downs of being on the field.
That's why they get the analyst job in the first place, so that they can explore things like that. But some of them go overboard, as Ricardo explained.
Yeah, but I also think that the thing as well, right, is that the best analysts go beyond critique or criticism, whichever one you want to use. The best analysts are teachers of the game or of the sport, whichever way you want to look at it. And if you are teaching, then it is unlikely that you are going to be accused of being too critical. What you have quite often are analysts, pundits, who will go, oh, that's a terrible kick, that's a terrible shot, that's a terrible this, that's poor, that's... But without being able to explain what was done incorrectly, what is possibly a better approach, how it can be done differently, because it's not always better. Some people will say, oh, it's better. Maybe it's better for you. And it's part of why as well, even with coaching, you can be a good coach, Lance, and you work for Mariah, but you don't work for me, because what I require is completely different from what Mariah requires to be at our best. And you have to be able to figure that out. And maybe how you coach or how you teach will work for her, but it doesn't work for me. And so there are all of those variables that comes into both analysis and I guess coaching as well.
We're out of time, but I just wanted to add this because I know that it is ideal for former players to be in these positions because they've been there. They get the but I'm just saying that some do it better than others because, like I think Nasser Hussain, as a cricket analyst, is one of the best. Nasser Hussain, I think he's pretty excellent as a former England captain. I just like the depth of his analysis and how he sees games, and he doesn't come over as an overly pro-England analyst, like he supports England. He calls it as he sees it.
This is going to sound shocking.
You rate Nasser Hussain?
This is going to sound shocking, but I'm a fan of Ian Bishop and the Aussies.
Yeah.
And the Aussies?
Yes.
Well, Bishop is excellent. I think Bishop is really good as well.
I love the Aussie cricket commentators from the late Shane Warne, Michael Clark, because I think their analysis of the game tends to be at a higher level than a lot of the others. But
all right,
anyhow.
well, team, we've been
and of course,
up on a break.
I'm a big fan of Nikhil Chandani.
We've been up on a break for quite some time now. Our producer, she's going to be angry. Let's take a break.